Hello everyone, I'm Heather. I wasn't going to do a video this week because I'm low-key on my way to Hay Festival this weekend. I was just going to vlog through Hay Festival and then post something next week, you know, some sort of like Hay Festival vlog. However, something has happened last night and I feel like we need to talk about it. None of my physical face-to-face friends and family seem to give a crap, okay? But I feel like BookTubeland will care. Seattle Public Library has released their summer adult bingo board. And I can't stop thinking about it. Anyone can do the Seattle Public Library's book bingo. You don't have to be in Seattle. You don't have to be from Seattle. Like, I personally am from Seattle, which is how I heard of it. But you don't need any connection at all to Seattle. All you need is a place in your heart that remembers when you were a kid and got all those pizza prizes from summer book bingo, and you miss it and you want it back. Well, Seattle Public Library has brought it back for you grown-ups. She's brought it back. Like, I'll put all the info down below, like the link to the website and the board and the rules and everything like that. But every year they get a new artist to draw up their board. So they've got info about the new artist and everything, and the board is now here. I'm gonna put up blah, ding, 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 ding. I feel like there should be like explosions and like stuff going on so you can see it like ding, 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 ding. I've spent all of last night and like pretty much all of this morning sticking books into the book bingo. Like, I've created a thing on Canva where I can edit it, where I can like move the books about as I think of them, or like as I get different ideas or as I finish it. And I want all of the books that go on it to be either books that are in my house or books from the library, or like on the library's app, like ebooks and audiobooks and stuff like that. And some of the categories are similar to last year-ish, you know, like Indigenous author, which I'm for, you know, true crime or crime fiction, you know, a book with a recipe, whatever, things like that. But there's like new ones on it this time, like a hip hop book. What? Love it. A workers' rights book? Yes, friend. Like older protagonist? Yes, brilliant. This starts now and goes until I think mid-September or the end of September, something like that, where all of the entries have to be like posted. Like, you post them on Instagram and you tag in the library, or you can like send them via email or whatever, but it has to be in by a certain date, so I'll put that date up. But I now have what, like 2-3 months ish to get the blackout. Like, I'm not going for like, you know, a line or 2 lines or whatever. Like, I'm not an amateur, okay? I'm in it to win it. I'm here for the blackout. So I have to start now, basically, but I'm still in the middle of horror mayhem, which I like doing at the minute. So I think I'm gonna try to like merge some of them. Some of the ones that I was gonna do for horror mayhem that I'm still gonna do for May this month. I'm gonna see if they can fit into a category. And then for June, July, and August, I'll be like more free to sort of wave my books about and jump different genres, you know? So I don't want to go over all of the books that I've picked so far. Like, it would just take ages, and also some of them are still floating. I don't really know what I want to do for that quite yet, but just quickly, some of the ones I'm thinking so I can get your thoughts. How do you feel? Okay, first one, Indigenous author Cherie Demeline, Empire Wild. Loads of people have read this and said it was awful, but also loads of people read it and said it was great, so I don't really know. I'm hoping it'll be good. A woman's husband goes missing, and then she finds him as like the preacher in charge of like a revival tent in a Walmart parking lot, and she's like, "It's you!" And he's like, "Don't know what you're on about." So she's got to like, I don't know, figure out what's up with that. I think it's horror, and also that the characters are quirky. From manga or graphic novel, Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. And this one, I think, so it's based on a book, an actual book that you read with lots of words. They've turned it into a graphic novel. It's about a girl who's come out to her family, and she's from New York, and then she moves to Oregon, and she's interning with like a feminist author or something like that. And I guess, you know, learns about things along the way. I don't know. It looks really good. Okay, for either the category chosen by the cover or the one about recipes. I don't know if there's a recipe in here. I know it's like a foodies type thing, but I don't know about recipes. Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This one is a woman's life story goes off track. She has a breakup, she hates her job, so she like up sticks and moves to this suburban area outside the city, and meets a woman who becomes like her best mate in that area, who is accidentally also a witch. I don't know if it's supposed to be horror or if it's supposed to be cute. I can't tell from the cover, but I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so for BIPOC Poetry Collection, they actually teased this category last week. The Seattle Public Library, they sort of like gave us clues to like what some of the categories would be ahead of time. And I follow them because I'm interested in those updates. But they said about this sort of BIPOC Poetry Collection category before. And I saw that thing where Amanda Gorman, she posted that she was gutted that her book or her poem from the inauguration in book form was removed from a library in Florida because a parent sort of just put in a form saying she objected to it. But the form was like, it said that it was written by Oprah Winfrey and like the grammar was hideous on it. And like it was just the most horrendous, like everything about it was just the most horrendous sort of idea. I thought, okay, how about, like, I've always been meaning to read her sort of poetry collection, Amanda Gorman's, like one after her inauguration thing. So what better time than now, for real. Okay, so for trans or non-binary author, I've got Maria Lucas Reineveld, The Discomfort of Evening. This is another one where loads of people read it and said it was amazing, and also loads of people read it and said it was crap. So I don't really know, but it also meets another project that I'm doing. I'm full of projects. I love a project me. To do with Eurovision. So Hay Festival did a contest in conjunction with Eurovision called the Eurovision Book Contest, where they wanted like suggestions and everything to find like a book from each country in the Eurovision where they could discuss it at Hay Festival. And this is the one that made it for the Netherlands. So in my quest to fulfill that list, I can also do them both together like this because the author is non-binary. Anyway, this is, I think, to do with a little girl who like doesn't get to go on a trip that her brother gets to go on. So she like wishes him dead and then he dies. Like not because she wished him dead, but she just feels really guilty about it. And apparently it's really beautiful. The author, they're a poet to start, and this is their first actual novel. So it's just like with the translator as well is quite good. It's just a really beautiful, descriptive sort of feeling type book, which I enjoy. I enjoy that kind of thing, so I think it'll be okay. For a translated book, I've got Hotel Silence by Auður Ava Ólafsdóttir. She wrote Miss Iceland, which I read in Shorty September and loved, so I wanted to try something else that she's written. This one is, a guy's life is falling apart and he just basically wants to die. Like his wife won't talk to him, his kids won't talk to him, whatever. So he buys a hotel in like a war-ravaged like zone, country. And he's just sort of hoping he'll die there or like be killed or something. And it turns out that he loves it, and he has to sort of like choose whether he wants to commit to life again, you know, and sort of like stay in this hotel and live this life properly, which I think sounds beautiful. True crime or crime fiction, perfect opportunity to dip into the Longmire, friends. Like books like this are perfect for airplane travel. They're tiny, you can get through them in the whole trip and then just sort of leave them behind. And I love a bit of Longmire me. I love it. He's like a Wyoming sheriff, but he's a bit reluctant as a sheriff. Like his life is a bit falling apart, you know, as usual. And like he's the sheriff, but he could take that or leave that job, really. He just like, he's got a strong sense of justice and wanting to help people. But as for like, you know, the role of being in the police, it's not him. It's not for him, you know. And thinking this I can read on my Sitges trip when we all go over to Spain for Sitges Pride Week. This is the perfect airplane book. I can just, you know, devour it in the week and then leave it behind. Forget about it. Okay, a new category this year is BIPOC or LGBTQ horror. And I have more than enough books in my house to 100% fill up that square. I've put in 5 potential goes that I can sort of move about at my leisure. But at the minute, you know, it's May. It's still mayhem. So that box I should read in May. And I'm thinking Patricia Wants to Cuddle. I don't really know what this one is about, honestly. She sort of wins some sort of game show and now she's on an island trying to win it all the way. And it's like something wrong with the island. But we get a couple of clues by the tagline at the front. A one-of-a-kind queer horror comedy for people who watch The Bachelor. Yes, thank you, I'm in. But also I found this other review where this person's like, well, I guess Bigfoot lesbian rom-com mystery horror is my new favorite genre. So much fun. I'm in. I'm just in. Like, let's do it this month. There's also a situation where it's 2 boxes on the board, 2 different boxes, 2 different books, but same author, different genre. You know, so one of these authors that writes a bunch of different kinds of genres and has like a really wide range. So I've gone with T. Kingfisher, okay, because that author writes The Twisted Ones, which is like a proper horror, which I have, and also A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking, which I think is YA and just cute as F. Also, Good Citizens Need Not Fear by Maria Riva is a bunch of stories, like separated sort of short stories, but connected in that they all tell the story of a person living in this one apartment block in Ukraine, and it looks like, you know, cute, but also like heartwarming. Also, The Hangman by Louise Penny. So, you know, these ones that she writes, it's like the Three Pines mysteries, where it's this detective Gamache. So I didn't know that these were books originally. I found it on Amazon, like the series, like the TV series of it, but I love it. So now I see that The Hangman, it's like a novella that takes place in the world of the Gamache series. So I might read that one. Okay, that's it. That's all I had to say. I just feel like I needed to tell someone about it because I'm super excited. Also, I need to do actual work now because it is a working day. If you want to do the book bingo, let me know, okay? I will like give you info for that. Like, it's all gonna be below anyway, but let me know. Also, if you have thoughts about the books, okay? Like, if you look on the categories and you see like the books that I've got there and you're like, ooh girl, don't do that, okay? For that category, you should instead have this book. That would be brilliant. Thank you. Because I do find that I need guidance. I need the wisdoms of the booktubes, please. Okay, I will see you next week after Hay. Okay.